All right, can you hear me on this okay, or should I crank it up a little bit? Is that working? All right. If it's too quiet, let me know. I'm always happy to shout. All righty. So we are cruising through Intro to Python here. Now we're going to get into regex and networked programs. Regex, very powerful, very cool stuff. Super obnoxious and confusing for nearly everybody because it's not the kind of thing you do every day. You'll write it every now and then, and we always have to go look up how it works here. Um, was it Cloudflare? Bad regex? I think it was Cloudflare. Yep. Haha. Oh, they had a whole write-up, right? Yeah, this one. Wow, that was 2019 already. Feel like this was not that long ago, but time is mushy since COVID for me. Um, so Cloudflare, so like half the traffic? Man, how much traffic through Cloudflare? Let's see. 10 trillion requests, 20% of all websites, and 320,000 of the top million. Tons of people use Cloudflare. Okay, sure. That's lots of people here. Um, Lots of traffic goes through them. And if they break, bad stuff happens. Um, it's a content delivery network. So the idea is you'd want to get your content closest to the user. So they've got caching stations, all set up everywhere here. Yeah, they do a lot of cool stuff. And using them can make your network more efficient because most of our cloud-based services you have to pay by request. Like the more often you go out and hit AWS, the more often you go out and hit Azure, the more you have to pay. So if you can do Cloudflare well, it's not the hardest thing in the world to do, but there's some stuff that goes into it. You reduce your traffic load because it stops at Cloudflare. It doesn't have to get to you for cached results. So the guy had a really good blog. Cloudflare. I think he used Cloudflare. Um, where is it here? He had a really good blog article about how he was setting it up here. Yeah, he got his case study posted. Look at that. So, all right, that was just the first one. You can find other things here. Um, anyway, so their bad traffic essentially crashed the internet because someone did a bad thing with their regex. Um, all a reject or regular expression is pattern matching. It's saying, hey, look at a string and see if it matches a pattern. That's its entire job. But they were doing it poorly. And if you do something 10 trillion times a month, doing something poorly adds up really, really, really fast, right? As you can imagine, anything at that scale, tiny little increases, super helpful. Tiny little decreases, really bad. So that sort of thing. They just changed the rule, and bad stuff happened. Um, yeah, this single rule, but they poorly written. So this is a regular expression. Wow, that's garbage, right? Like I don't reading these is no fun here. Sometimes the chatbots are pretty good at these. I want to see if it can figure this one out here. We'll use the UM one, right? Why not? We've got this one here. It's good at following rules, and regex is all rule based here. Okay, let's see. Wow. Quite complex. Appears to be matching specific structures, possibly with some scripting or programming context. Yeah, good. Non-capturing group. It's used to group parts of the regex without capturing them for back reference later. Inner non-capturing group. We're looking for quotes and backslashes and curly braces. That one matches the actual backslash. This is matches digits here. Matches actually, is it one of these things here? Matches the backtick, matches plus or minus. The plus means one or more times. The star means 0 or more times. This one is a semicolon, because of course semicolon question mark must mean semicolon. And then a specific pattern. It looks like the similar pattern here. Something includes assignment. Wow. Yeah, that's not super helpful here. Didn't really tell me what it's doing. That's okay. So we're going to take a look. We'll go out to the Python book. He breaks it down a little bit smaller, step by step by step as we go here. So with a regex here. So far with strings, we were able to split on given characters, right? And I think we looked at find. You can find an instance of something in strings. Did we do that one? Or you all read it, right? I'm sure you're following along and reading in the textbook. It's not even like a thick, heavy textbook where you've got 50 pages per chapter, right? It's like you just scroll down on the website here. You guys read Reddit posts longer than this about really weird stuff, I'm sure, right? No one falls down Reddit rabbit holes. Why are those like so fun to read? I don't know. I don't understand.
Just assuming RegEx still follows the manual.
Yep, regular expression. And can link out. So we import the Python library for it here if we want to go use regex. So using regex, you can search for specific things here, and then you get other characters. So you get a bunch of, hey, this little caret here, the to the power of symbol. Wow, that came out real small. I think I can zoom in here. Says look for something at the beginning of a line here. So it will only match if the start of the line has this here. So we can say, hey, does it contain something here? So let me fire up PyCharm. And so you'd give it a string. So you say, hey, this is the, so as we're reading our file, we said, hey, open up this file. For every line in that file, let me search it with my regex, essentially. Yep. All right, and then new project. This is week 5, right? Week 5, line 5, regex. E8, 2025. We're going to import RE for importing our regular expression library. And then if we wanted to go have some text, right? I don't know what files we were working on here. That's fine. Let's go get poem as text file. Let's see if we can find one here. Poem.txt on GitHub. Look at that. That ought to do. We can take this one here. Sure. Copy. Make a new file in here so we can go read this file for fun. Poem.txt. Probably should include this URL here, right? I feel bad if we don't here. We'll throw that in at the top. All right, so we got a file here. So we're going to open that to read it, right? So here's our file with file, with open poem.txt as file. Right? And then for line in file, read lines. No? Oh, I just need something in here. Okay. So now if we want to search for it, so hey, can we find something in here? Now, we don't particularly care if it's at the start of the line or not. We just want to know, is this in here, right? I don't know, if we want to search for, don't need the start here. We'll just say, how about I in the line? And we'll just print that line because we found the word I in this line here. And not a very exciting pattern match, and we could do this with just a find, but this is the simple one here. There we get 2, right? And oh yeah, we should probably print these without the end line, right? We could change our ending character to something because our lines come with new lines as we're reading through it here. Right. We found I in here twice. Sure. So, and without regexes, we could have just done it, right? So if I is in the line, print the line. That one was fine here. Sure. But harder, more interesting patterns get to be more difficult with if statements, and they get to be slower. So regex is relatively fast if we're using it well here. So you can look for some sort of wild card. So F dot M. Yeah,
So that, so that it didn't care if it was I'm apparently,
I didn't care about what.
it didn't care that that was I'm and not I.
It found the letter I, the capital I. So in this case, it matched because we said, is there an I? Right. It's just looking letter by letter by letter. Um, so other fun things you can do is you can use wildcards, which is much harder to do with an if statement. Like, hey, is there an F, something, something, and an M in this one here? Right. So with our pattern matching, we can use the dot here. So hey, is there an I and then like any character and then an M here? So that one's only going to match this one here because it's I something. In this case, it was the apostrophe here. Now this one, so we'd have to say, hey, is there an I? And then is like the two more characters after that also something, right? So if there's an I in line, and so you want to say if line at the index of line.find capital I +2, right? Line and oh, I don't need another if here. So to find where the index of I is, right? Find tells me where this substring is, and add two more characters to it. Because really we don't care if there's something here, right? If that one then equals an M here, we should be able to find that. Okay, sure, but this is starting to get a little awkward here. We're only doing one wild card, right? So very powerful. We can do lots of cool things with it. Then the other things you can do is you can say, hey, I want it to match 0 or more times with a star. So, hey, is it in here? So this particular pattern, does it happen 0 or more times? Right? Or this particular pattern, does it happen 1 or more times? Tell me what we're doing here. So there's a RegEx builder, I think is really good. Builder. Yeah, oh, RegEx 101. So this has been pretty handy. I like using them a lot. So they'll let you put a test string in here, and then you start putting in your regular expression, and it'll tell you if it's matching or not, which is really nice as we're building them out and testing them, and gives you all sorts of extra quick reference and helpful hints if we're doing it by hand. I'm old enough when we had to do this before we had the chatbot tools to generate regex for us here. But chatbot doesn't do everything perfectly. So even if it gives you a regex, don't just go plug it in your program, right? Go and try it. And this is a nice handy place to go and try it, right? Plug in what it gives you here and then see if it matches on a bunch of strings, right? So if we wanted to say, hey, let's look for, let's do this one here. Let's write a regex that looks for birthdays in the format month, day, year. Or I don't know, dates, right? I'll just say dates in a string. So it's like two numbers, possibly one number though, right? Because if you're not in October, November, December, most people don't write 04 if their birthday's in April. They'll just write 4, right? I do because I'm a weird person like that, and I also write my dates in a different format because it entertains me. Because month, day, year is dumbest format of all of the options out there. Right? Why would you go like middle size, small size, big size? Like we just do it wrong here. But okay, so let's see. It says here's our 1 to 9, possibly with a 0, or 1 and then a 0 through 2 for valid months, right? Which is nice. And then again, 0 through 9, and then 12, 2, or I'm sorry, 1 or a 2 up to 0 through 9, or a 3 with a 0 or 1. How clever that is. It knows you can only be 31, like 32 is not valid. That's like going the extra mile. It's not even just is it 2 digits, is it valid digits in the range here, which is nice. And then looking for 4 digits for a 4-digit year, which is nice. So B is a boundary to make sure it's just that. So like it only has this bit here. Then matches the month, matches a actual slash in here, being in the slash. So let's test it, right? So throw some dates in here. We'll go to the regex tester. Here's our regular expression. Oops, let's see. Doesn't like the slash. Really? Unescaped delimiter must be escaped. Did I do it wrong? I don't know why it doesn't.
That was actually wrong.
I feel like it should be able to use the slash, but we wanted slashes in that direction, right? Which way do you write your slashes? Do you do forward slashes or backslashes when I tell you to enter a date? Yeah, like we would use forward slashes, right? Unescaped delimiter. Do I have to add another slash? Let's see.
Maybe it wants
We have to quote it.
forward slash.
No, doesn't like that. Backslash and then a forward slash.
Yeah.
Let's try it and see. Chatbot failed us already. Come on, I thought AI was taking over. Not yet. We got a while. We got a lot of really smart people with PhDs who study these sorts of things over in the CIS building. Go chat with them. Their opinion is much more valid than mine, but I still don't see it happening.
Right? Backslash forward slash because that's what characters work in.
Yeah.
So
Sure. Let's see. Does it like my birthday? Doesn't match. And we didn't use the whole 2-digit month here. Now it matches. Look at that. So if I add in the 0, it matches. Okay, let's go ask the chatbot, right? Let's see. So, what can you make it so you can have a 1-digit month or day? That was not a question mark, but that's okay.
As well, like how accounts are made, like the passwords, for example, how they have to use special characters, like number, does it check these address?
They could use a regex. I would just be lazy and like, here's my list of characters, but you could also do it with a regex. Yeah. Okay, which is actually bad password policy, by the way. So anybody who does that, you should complain to them, tell them they're wrong. If you like complaining to people and telling them that they're wrong. For some reason, it entertains me to tell people they're wrong. That's probably why I got in this profession. Is that no?
typing in characters on.
No. So thankfully, the new password guidance and U of M follows it. Thankfully, is you want long passwords is better than complex passwords because the studies they've done shown like 90-ish, 95% of passwords, if they need a capital and a lowercase and a number, the first letter is capital and the last letter is the number 1. You've not added any security at that point because when we just automatically try and crack them, we just follow that pattern. You've gained nothing. So longer passwords, like passphrases, are much better, and you don't need special characters because 26 to the 15th power is leaps and bounds higher than whatever 49 to the 8th power, right? That's some basic math, and you all are pretty good at math because you got this far, right? Uppercase and lowercase. So you don't even need to enforce. I guess that's a possibility, right? But like you can just do all lowercase long passwords. Are leaps and bounds better than complex ones that are short.
But some things forcing you to one for a letter.
Yep, and they're obnoxious. They're very obnoxious. All right, let's see if this one works for us. Oh, we have to escape our forward slashes. We should tell the chatbot. Let's tell the chatbot here, please. Come on. Type. There we go. Please escape the forward slashes. Let's see if that figures it out. Hey, look at that. Okay. Other adjustments. Oh, complete pattern with the forward slashes properly escaped. Certainly. I love chatbots. They're so clever. I don't know. It's not a real person. You don't enjoy having a conversation with a machine that pretends to be clever? Okay. Now we got it here. So now this one should see if we only have 1 digit. It does match. Look at that. It's working so well. So if I have a single day here, it also matches. Good to know. All right. But now if you write your birthday like European format, so if you do month, day, year, it might break, right? So if I did 22 for 1987, it does not match European format here. Or if you use the best format, the ISO format here, you do year-month-day, that one also doesn't fit. We've got some problems. So we can make our regex do this or this or this, right? You can get nuts with these things, which is super cool that a single pattern match can look for any of these here, right? So let's ask it. Because honestly, I mean, we could probably just move these pieces around here, right? But let's just ask the chatbot. So it could also check for European format, month, day, year, and the ISO format, year, month, day. Let's see if I can figure it out. Here we go. I'm sure this is fine to just copy paste into our code, right? Boom. Uh-oh. Doesn't match any of them now. We broke it. We got the ore, right? So that pipe is our ore. Why is it not matching the first one now? Does not match anything. Do we need 0 or more? No? Yeah, it looks like they are. So let's see. So let's break out. Let's take out that here again. So broke the first match. Right, it was working before we did that. So let's go back and compare. What was different here about this one? Isn't that the same? So this one looks different, right? What's different here between the two? You zoom in a little bit. Oh, goodness. One backslash forward slash zeros, nines, 12s, 0, 9, 3, 0, 1. It looks like the same one, isn't it? No. I keep flipping to the wrong program here. Sorry. Let's see. So if we drop that back in, it matches. What's different? Do you notice anything different? I didn't notice anything different. I'm bad at this. That one here. Is that it? Not back to PyCharm. Back to the browser. Was it because there was a space? I think there's a space in my copy paste. Yeah, there's a space here with my or. I think the space was the whole issue. All right. Let's try it again. Take out these little spaces here. Space, 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 space. Ah, there we go. Okay, so we're getting closer now. Now we got 2 matched here, but still not our third one.
Parentheses.
So this one has the dash and the dash. Should be a 4-digit year, 2-digit month.
Let's read the letter.
Yeah, go for it. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me do the lights. Nope. Like that? Is that better?
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just holler anytime. Yeah, the dark mode sometimes a little hard. Um, so it's just not matching this one here, but it looks like it should be based on. Do we not? There's no. Where's the other pipe? There's not a good ore in here. Is that here? Okay. It's here. Not at the start of. Oh no, there's the ore right here. I think our ore groups are messed up here, right? So it's looking for 4 digits dash 2 digits dash 2 digits. I entered down and now it matched because now there's a new line at the end here. That's fun. That's got to be a fun little thing to figure out. All right, so we got a pretty good regex though. Hey, enter your birthday. Probably catch one of your formats here, right? Now, what if they used dashes or slashes, right? And remember, anytime you deal with user input, who knows what they're going to type in, right? That's why everyone does the calendar pop-ups now. When you have to enter a date, they're like, just please use my little widget. Please don't type things because it's really obnoxious when people type things in. Is that worth adding one more? Let's add one more. So let's see, we want to support, make it so they can use forward slashes or dashes for separators. separators. Chatbot knows what I'm talking about. Look at that. US format, European format, ISO format. How good. But we also had to take those spaces back out again, right? Let's try it again. Pop it all in here. Take out those extra spaces here and here, and here and here. And it matched. Look at that. I matched all of them. So we should be able to change these to dashes. And it still matches. Dashes still matches. Can you imagine doing this in Python code with like ifs? Like if there's a digit here and then it's followed by a slash, or maybe there's two digits here and it's followed by like, or we'd have to try and split, and then we'd have to look like, is this 4 digits long? And it feels really messy, right? So let's go do this here, and we'll drop it in PyCharm. So this is for validating a date. Holy cow. That's a long regex. Let's go this way here. Nope, one more. There we go. All right. We can find that in a... And you can see why Cloudflare had a problem, right? These get rather unwieldy kind of quick here. And if they're trying to I think they were trying to validate a DNS entry. I forget what it was here. Looking for things. And this was all ChatGPT, right? So we should cite our source here with the whole conversation. So that's what I asked you for, right? It's not super hard. We just put it in here. So we'll put in, so we asked, this is GPT prompt. This one, and then the next prompt, and then the next prompt. And the next prompt. So OpenAI is a little bit nicer because you get the URL. You can leave in there to go and find it, but this isn't too bad, right? I mean, for the amount of work it saved us. Oh my goodness. One more prompt here, right? Look at that. We did it here. So if you're using it, great. Perfectly fine. Developers make a lot of money using it, but you have to know what it's doing, right? And then you have to make sure you can test it that it's doing the right thing, which is also hard, right? To know, is it giving you something that's going to work? Did I show you that cool flowchart they had for a while? Go find that now. Flowchart. Is it safe to use AI for code? Yeah, I had a really good one here. I don't remember where it is now. It was on Twitter. Safe to use AI. I think it was just in general here. Let's see if our first hit is any good here. Yeah, look at that. It worked. So thankfully you can search Twitter still, because finding it on X is not useful to add X to your Google searches. So it's safe to use ChatGPT for your task. Start here. You've done flowcharts, right? Back from 150 or 200 probably. Okay. Does it matter if the output is true? For programming, does it matter if it's true?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you have the expertise to verify the output is accurate? Depends, right? That's why you're here, right? So if you don't use it. Right? If you can't tell what it's doing, it's not safe, because you've got no idea if it gave you something that actually is true or if it just looks like it's true. And these things are really good at generating garbage.
What is that?
This one here. So if yes, you have the expertise, are you able and willing to take full responsibility, whether it be legal, moral, etc., for missed inaccuracies? Yes? Go for it. It's possible to use it. If you're not, don't use it. So an interesting thing, I don't know if you got into this when you talked about ethics, for civil engineering, the lead engineer, when they build a bridge, is personal liability for that project if they don't follow established engineering practices. Which I think is kind of cool. Like, I think that makes sense. Hey, you were the lead engineer on this project. If you cut corners, now you're personally liable when it hurts somebody, right? You've got some responsibility here. We don't have anything like that when it comes to software.
It's a great. Oh no.
Most software won't, but some does. There's you probably I don't know if you did the study with Therac 25 was a really popular case study for a while here for software killing people. Didn't ring any bells. That's worth googling here. 25. It has a Wikipedia page, like all good things. Here, it has multiple issues. Uh-oh. Oh goodness. Computer-controlled radiation therapy. Here, this is a little old now, right? But again, it, you know, still a case study in why this is important. Some people were overdosed with radiation because programming errors gave them hundreds of times doses greater than it should have been, resulting in death or serious injury because they didn't follow good established practices here. So this is one of the reasons now that medical devices have to go through additional scrutiny and are, is it the Food and Drug Administration? I feel like has to do that for anything that's a medical device, which is really nice, right? Because like this little thing in my pocket, my bionic pancreas, if this screws up, it will literally kill me. Like too much insulin and I'm dead. Not enough insulin, also dead. That one takes a little bit longer, but you know, it's pretty nice to know that this has gone through some extra scrutiny here because kind of depend on it here. So that sort of thing. Um, not in all software, doesn't matter, but these sorts of things do, right? Our one of our favorite hot topics, right? We're in the Detroit area. I know it's Dearborn, but we call it Metro Detroit because even where I live, like 30 miles out of Detroit is still Metro Detroit somehow. I don't understand that. Like, when people ask where I live, I don't say Detroit, but okay. Or the Detroit Zoo being in Royal Oak. Royal Oak's not Detroit. I don't know. So, self-driving cars, pretty popular. Who's responsible if a self-driving car kills somebody? The, the driver is because all of the cars say, we're not actually self-driving, you're still responsible, right? All of them say that. And then the smarter ones will actually detect if your hands are on the wheel or not. And then they'll start yelling at you, hey, put your hands back on the wheel, dummy. We're just pretending to be self-driving. These sorts of things here. It gets to be interesting. And then the lawyers have to get involved because this is America and we have lawyers suing people for everything, but it's probably fine if your software makes a car kill somebody. Probably needs to be a lawsuit somewhere in there. I think that's probably fair. Um, so we got down a weird rabbit hole. But yes, if we can use chatbots. So don't just copy paste garbage that you don't know if it works or not, because right, we've got some responsibilities for it here. So even if it's not legal, right, I feel like we can make a good argument. You've got some ethical responsibility to write good code that doesn't hurt people, those sorts of things. So that is also why I like phone apps. Like they're just for fun and silly things. You know, you're not going to change the world with the phone app necessarily, but you're not going to hurt anybody if your app crashes. Uh, okay, back to where we were. So regular expressions. Let's zoom back out a little bit here. Wildcard matching, extracting data using our regular expressions. You can use find all to extract all the substrings that match. So hey, in his example, he like takes an email dump. Here's just a bunch of emails dumped to a file. So you can go find all the addresses in it. Right? These sorts of things. If we're doing information discovery, people give you a bunch of data. You're like, hey, I want to know all the people that you emailed. Sure, we can go parse that relatively quickly. Yeah.
Can you show an example? At least when I'm reading it, it seems like those points. Just go through the other one.
For find all?
Yeah.
So this is going to give us just the matches here. So if we take this like date here, so let's do, so for line in, yeah, we'll just use that poem here again, right? Why not? I guess we'll leave it down here because I already have my whole comment here. Let's do it again. And we want to say find all, and then here's our pattern. Goodness. This does not copy paste well, sorry. Too many quotes now. Find all, and then find all is going to return pattern, right? Returns the list here, so we don't need an if. We'll just say for date in find all, right? Because that should give me all the dates that it found. Why is it upset with this now? Redundant escape character? Didn't it yell at us about the escape? Oh, maybe the website yelled at us, but not Python? Sure, that's fine. So it's going to find all the dates in our file here, and then we will print the date here. So if we go add some dates to our poem here, right, we have in here, and they should we'll put them anywhere in here. So like 4/22, 1987. Oops. 7. I'll throw another one in here, like at the end. 7. 2. Throw one in here. 22 for 1987. Right, throw in a couple here. So let's see if it finds those ones in the line here. Oh, invalid. It doesn't even like the escape sequence at all, but it still runs. No, oh, it's running a different version here. Let's see. Okay, so get rid of that one. 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 We don't have to escape them in Python. That's fun. Nope. Still invalid escape sequence \d. Invalid escape sequence. Can we not use \ds in Python? Oh, okay. I don't know. Let's see. So let's ask the chatbot because I don't remember right now off the top of my head. Python says, see if it can figure it out for us. Don't need a raw string. Not to treat the backslashes as escape. Oh, so the backslash is special for this one here. Okay, that's why I didn't like our backslashes. So if we tell you it's a raw string, then it won't treat it as an escape character because it's special for regex expressions. Found some. It's not exactly what we wanted here. I think our escape characters can go back in though. Let's go back to where we were with this one. Copy this one in. Put it back in here as the raw string. See if that's any better. Because now it should be a little happier. Nope. Same error. Well, it's matching. We're not getting date and find all. We're not getting the year out of these, and we're getting other matches. Oh, we forgot to take out the spaces. All right, take out the spaces. Okay, getting closer. Put a breakpoint in and see what we get here. So for date in find all. All right, so we got our date piece here. Give you back just the pieces here. Let's find all giving me just the pieces. That's what it was giving us. We found the date. Let's see. It's fine. We're just printing out the date. We found the next one. And we found the last one here. Yeah, it's given us too many pieces here, though.
Because it's saving as a list.
Yeah, so it's returning a list. Okay, so I didn't read the documentation well enough. It says this is really tiny, sorry. If one or more capturing groups are present in the pattern, returns a list of groups. This will be the list of tuples if the pattern has more than one group. So it's giving us the list of groups, right? These are all groups that we're capturing in here with these. Oh man, that gets to be really messy.
It's also not finding the year or something that.
Yeah, it wasn't grabbing the year properly. I don't know if it didn't like the digit, but it's matching though. But it's just not returning the year in there. As we find the digits, right? 4 digits. If it doesn't like that one. The line's too long. Yes, yes it is. It's warning us. Yeah, it doesn't find the 4-digit group. but because we're using the ORs for our capture groups, we're getting too many in here. So again, lots of really cool things you can do with it. It needs some massaging. Right? It needs a little bit of work before it becomes super useful. So I don't think we have to do too much more playing with that one here to look at it. Let's put this back to like a normal zoom. So like he's looking for an email address. Right. So in this one here, A to Z, lowercase, A to Z uppercase, 0 to 9 numbers. In square braces says here's possible characters you could match here. Then any non-white space character. So as long as it has one of these and then there's some characters, 0 or more times. So like a single letter or number, as long as you want, right, with 0 more times, and then an @ sign, and then some bunch of characters again here, and then letters, right? Okay, single lowercase letter, @ signs. Now we getting closer here, matching some of these. So he's looking for all of his characters in here in the line with his regular expression. And then searching and extracting. Sure. Look at that. Finding URLs, finding digits, 0 to 9, 4 times. Yeah, and then the escape character. Oh man. So $sign is going to match the, oh, he wasn't even using that one. So this is the actual $sign. So it has to be escaped. Looking for that one, not the $sign that means the end of the line here. And here's some lists. So if you want to match the beginning of a line, use the caret, use the end of a line, a $sign, match any character, white space, non-white space character, 0 more times, 0 more times in non-greedy mode. So this is whether or not it's going to pull more characters out. 1 or more times, 1 or more. Immediately preceding, 0 more times, matches any particular letter. So if you want to look just for vowels, and throw lots of fun ones in here, letters and numbers. The first character is one of these things, right? Or this is not here. So doesn't mean first, sorry. It means not in this case, because of course you have to use the character for different meanings here. That's just, this is why nobody knows it off the top of their head. It's just not worth memorizing all these things. Just go look it up, right? Parentheses, you can find subsets of it when you use your find all for your capture groups here. Empty strings, but not at the start. Oh my goodness. Then more with Linux and Unix. Woo! So if you like command line tools, grep lets you use regular expressions built into their terminal, which is pretty nice. So you can do any sort of parsing that you want here. Lots of fun bits with regular expressions. That was fun, right? Yeah.
So it's like the search, it's out the entirety of the line which you find. If you find out this gives you.
Yeah, find will give you the match, the part that matches.
Yeah.
With find. Yeah, the search is just, I found it, true or false, in whatever string you were looking for. Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. They are. It's a lot. And it's always a headache for everybody. There's like comic, if you like software engineering comics, there's lots of nerdy people out there who write comics for software engineers because we're a very niche market. There's jokes about regular expressions if you like that sort of thing. Sort of like the jokes about closing Vim or VI. Right? You all did that in 200 and had a chance to program in Unix. It's very exciting, I'm sure. Yeah, sure. Now we can remember you have to do :Q to quit. I don't know why, but it's not the kind of thing that should be in your head, but it's stuck in mine.
Sounds like results you got stuff.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, why'd I have to go into insert mode or command mode? But all right. Now then, oh yeah, leave, sure. That was our RegEx website. I mean, RegEx is great. actually practical. Yes, I shouldn't say this next part's much more practical, but um, web services much more useful here, and networked programs here. So dealing with things that talk to the internet, super useful and super helpful because there's lots of stuff out there we can do with the internet. Right? Regex matching, sure, that's all fun here. And essentially, we're going to go out and doing this by hand is really, really dull here. I don't recommend it. But you can go out and make a connection on a specific port. If you haven't taken a networking class, that doesn't mean a whole lot of things. That's okay. But port 80 we use for HTTP traffic. We use port 443 for HTTPS traffic. That's just what we do on the internet here. So you can go out and do it yourself.
I had to use, I had to do this in 427 and I still don't understand it.
Sounds really obnoxious. I would not do this by hand. And Python has libraries, so we don't have to do it by hand, which is nice. So we're not going to have to do any of that nonsense here. Um, socket or time. Where's his? Yeah, we can use the URL lib library if you want. It just works a little bit nicer here. So we're going to import request here and say, hey, just go get this for me here, and then print it out, which is nice. Um, so this one works. There's even a better library as well. Does he have that one down here? Yeah, we don't need to parse it ourselves.
And once it's
Ah, Beautiful Soup is a fun. I don't know why people come up with fun names here, but this is a very common library for parsing HTML. So if you want to be pulling apart your HTML, looking for specific things, Beautiful Soup lets you go and do that, which is really nice. Um, so we can go and use Beautiful Soup to go and say, hey, I want to find all your A tags. If you haven't done HTML stuff before, that's okay, but that's all your links, right? And it's what is your link? Here's the href. What is your reference? What is that URL you're looking for? That's your, the blue clicky links that you can click on. So we're going to go grab all of them. We can go out and read all of these ones off of his website here as we go, if you wanted to. So enter the URL, go and read it, parse out all the links here. Lots of fun. So hey, if you point it at his site, Python docs here, these are all the links you're going to get here. Right? What are all the things we can go? What are all the pages you can navigate to? Right? All sorts of them out here, which is really fun. So lots of those with Beautiful Soup you can go through and parse. I prefer the requests library because it's easier too. So we can start up another project. We won't get too far into it. We only have a couple more minutes. So week 5 web. We'll put that in a separate package here or separate project here. Make it a little cleaner. So we're going to import requests here. And the first time it should say, oh, I don't know what it is. So let's install the package. So if you're using a virtual environment, it'll install the package to your virtual environment. If you're not, it will install the package to your global Python install. It's probably fine. It's bad practice, but for our purposes, we probably don't care. This is not going to have any issues for us. And PyCharm should just go do it. Right? He gives you the instructions. If you like things that are not our fun tools, you can use pip here. So pip is the command line tool for installing Python packages. So Python has a library of packages out there that you can go do. Look, here's packaging tutorial. You can go through and do that. So you just run your Python pip command here. Like, hey, let's go do these things. You can make sure you have pip install, and they got Mac commands. I don't enjoy doing stuff by hand. I like when my tools do all the work for me here. So I'm more than happy to let PyCharm do that for me. But you can go then and do all your things here, and you can go set up your packages and pip install. Right? Hey, I want to install whatever. Right? So Python -m pip install, name of your package. It'll go install it for you here. We can do those things. And then versions. This specific versioning gets to be a nightmare when we start using very popular libraries out there because certain libraries only work with certain versions of Python. You get what you pay for because you don't have to pay for these open source libraries. We're not getting fantastic support on it because people are just doing it out of the goodness of their heart to give us these really cool libraries and work on them here. So we've got to deal with some versions.
Change default to Unix and that.
I don't know. It's the first one. You just click over.
Even though I'm sure more people use Windows.
I don't know. Not sure. It's not even like a alphabetical thing either, right? Or it is. No, okay, so U does come before done. I'm so dumb. That was great. Yeah.
So we do Firefox.
Running what?
Um,
The regex one? I did.
yeah, I remember when I gave the link to start probably.
But it wasn't outputting it when we were using find all. It was just giving us tokens and we just forgot it because it's okay.
The two,
Yeah, it was giving us the tuples. That's okay. Um, we could spend more time on it, but for purposes of a demo, it's not worth your time watching me debug stuff. All right, so with requests then, the request library. Oh, look, it even gives us an example. How cool is that? It's saying, hey, here's what you can go do with it. Request.get some website. Awesome. So here's my request is request.get. And what do we want to go get here? So let's go get the Python book. See what we get here. Here. We'll throw this in. Oops, I should probably put that in quotes. Quote and end quote. And then there's a text. You can get the text back out. Right? So you can just print it. Give that a run. Here's some HTML. Look at that. Here's the website. Very pretty. And this was a one-liner instead of doing all of his. That's okay. Doing it by hand is fine. We don't need to import this request URL open and open things, and um, not the hardest thing in the world, but request is a little bit nicer than doing it this way. I think with URL open. I guess it's still a one-liner here, but it gives us some nice output. We get a nice response here. We don't have to go through and grab every line in F hand. I don't even
file there,
file handler or something. I don't even know why does he use these terrible variable names. Uh, I don't know. I'm not Dr. Chuck. I didn't write a book, so forgive me for making fun of his variable names. But that's great. Right? This one's kind of cool. But there's other cool things we can do with requests. So let me show you real quick, and then we'll probably call it a day. We'll get more into that on Thursday. We can play a little bit more with it. So, Coin Cap API. I think it's Coin Cap. That's what it is. Yeah, I think this one does it. So this is a free API, so a application programming interface. So how we interact with it, and RESTful APIs are ones we can just send web requests at. There's a whole bunch of things here. Go take the web class. Really fun. But essentially, they say, hey, give me all of the assets here, and it will return something in JSON format. Hey, we've done JSON format before. We like JSON format, right? It's pretty popular, it turns out. So let's go send it at the API and see what we get here. So we get this one, and that's HTTPS probably. Print the text out, sure, but we can also get the JSON here. So you can get the request's JSON format. Now again, not really any different right now, but we can turn it right into JSON, right, with this here. So we can have, here's the data, then is request.json, and then for, I don't know, key in data, the key, colon, the data index of the key, or, value associated with the key, maybe. And let's do this as a formatted string here. And we'll do, here's the key, that one here. Goodness, it's too helpful here. And then maybe a colon. That way we can kind of do our own little, like, what does this look like here? And then the associated value here, and then end our string. Oh, well, look, there's data and there's timestamp. So one of the keys is the data. It is the key of data. All right, well, that's not super helpful. So what we really want then is for key in the data. It's okay. This is what this API does, right? So their definition of what they're going to return is here's your data, right? And you get a bunch of other things. So this is all the thing it's going to tell us about it here, which is really cool. So we'll say, okay, so I want data, key of data here, right? So now I get ID, and then I'll get rank, and I'll get symbol and name, and all these ones here. Oh, geez, nope. For key in, what was data? Unhashable type dictionary. What did I do? I broke it. How is that not? key and data. It was that, right? Data was the key to associated value. I want the value associated with that one, right? I want that one. Data. Data. I broke it. All right, can we just get that one then? Here's the, I don't know, actual data. Is data, key of data. What did we break here? Oh, and then that's actual data. It's not hashing. I want the data bit as the dictionary because having that as a single line was not helpful. Why does it not like that here for key in? Did I change it? Actual data key list indices. It's a list. Oh. So that one worked now. So I just print actual data. What do we get out? Oh, it is a list. There's a square brace. Right? It's a list of items that are dictionaries. Oh goodness. Okay, so for this is, I don't know what, coins or something here? Sure. So for coin in coins, for key in coin, print the formatted string of the key colon, and then the key index, no, the coin index of the key. That'll probably work. Here, let's try that. Hey, okay, there we go. Just takes a little bit here. So the first item here then, right, because this is a list of dictionaries, here was this dictionary here. Right, here's the key, here's the value, here's the key, here's the value, here's the key, here's the value. So be able to get this out directly in JSON format makes it much easier for us to go and handle. And we could go do some conversions, but right, request knows that JSON exists and it's a popular API. We go and do these things and then start asking the user, hey, which one of these do you want to do? Right? Okay, let's get some information. Which one do you want to do? We can send requests out, and then the API lets you do additional things. So this is all assets. It's giving us all of them. Then the next thing you can do is say, hey, I just want the assets of a particular ID here. So we can get very specific around which one we're asking for. Right? So a very specific ID, just this one, and we'll get just the data out for just one of them. Or hey, I want the history of a given ID. So exposing things in a REST API lets us now go interact with it in code, and we can do cool stuff in Python code working with a web API, which is super common. So we'll spend probably all of Thursday playing with this. There's a Marvel API, which is lots of fun. You have to go get a key for that, but it's free. This one you don't need a key for, which is nice because if I'm recording my videos and putting them out on YouTube, I don't want my key to be out there, which is, there's ways you can get around it here, but it's a small headache. So maybe I'll do that for the Marvel one before Thursday. Is that okay? All right. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Here's web API or RESTful API access. We'll do that one here. All right. Oh, I gotta restart. Awesome. If you don't have any other questions, I will see you folks. Yeah, more questions. Sorry.
So for the project, put in.
Yeah. So like every year, how much money do you want to have? Or what do you start with? And then every year, how much are you investing? Yeah.
But after each trip is
Yeah. So for every year, how much are you saving now that you're 27? How much are you saving? Now that you're 28, how much are you saving? Now that it's a lot of entering.
Yeah.
You might want to add like, I'm all done, just finish running.
Yeah.
That's an option, right? But you don't have to have that in there. But otherwise, just like if you want to retire at age 20 all the way to 70, you've got 50 years of prompts,
Yeah.
which is okay. Like, hey, 0 to I don't know, 1 to invest in this, 2 to invest in that, whatever menu you want here.
Are there like specific like